Hello and welcome to Let's Talk All Things. So the way this series is going to work, every episode is going to focus on either a brand or a category. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the brand's history, what they're best known for, and then we are going to go into my collection and then finish up discussing anything that I really want or maybe something that I wish I didn't buy. The first episode is gonna be AJE. Now, fun fact, I did not know that it was pronounced AJE because prior to COVID, I was ironically only buying it online. So it was always delivered to my place. It wasn't until post-COVID era that I went into a store for the first time and found out that AJE is in fact not the 3 letters of its name. Now, the brand was founded in 2008 by best friends Adrian and Edwina. I will add their last names as well, but there was no way I was remembering it. This is an Australian brand known for its raw femininity, and I think a lot of AJE pieces can very well be identified. We'll discuss this brand later on in the series, but it's similar to Zimmermann, where you look at pieces and you kind of know that they're AJE. Now, something that I absolutely love about AJE, and one of the primary reasons why I always find myself going to them when I'm looking for a piece, is because they have an amazingly curated range. You can get products for everyday use that are essentials, that are basics, that can be worn in every which way, and you can also get some incredible statement pieces. Now we're going to move on to my collection. As we can see, we've got tops, bottoms, and one pieces for a total of 17 items. I will try them on and show you how I would typically style them. So let's start with tops, we'll move on to bottoms, and then finish off with one pieces, which I will say are all dresses. We'll start with the middies and then move on to the middies. This is the first top. The best way to describe this color is almost a dusty pink. And if memory serves correct, I think this is one of the first pieces, if not literally the first piece that I ever bought from AJE, and it is a crepe material. I'm leaning more towards taking in alterations and having it fixed, but this neckline is just way too low for me. I'm very flat chested, so when I do wear this, on the off chance that I do, I pretty much have to go braless because I do not own a single bra that will not show with this item. We have yet another crepe piece. This came back from dry cleaning somewhat recently, I'm assuming, but this is more of a cropped style. I typically do this with high-waisted pants, and it's very nice, it's very chic, very easy. The only thing I don't actually like is where the name is positioned. It's in a really awkward place and it makes it look like I have a uniboob. This is a bodysuit. Now this actually comes out of the Athletica range, and styling this isn't too hard, but I will say one of the perks of this is how light it is. It's very thin, but not like paper thin. It's like a good feeling thin. It's like a lightweight, it feels good. You can do it with jeans, you can do it with shorts, skirts, whatever you want, and it still looks chic. If you watched my Macau and Hong Kong vlog, you would have seen this top. This is a more recent addition. I wore this once when I was in Macau. I haven't worn it again. I do need to sort out something with these straps. This is just incredibly low cut. Again, I think a lot of this goes back to the fact that I'm flat chested, but I'm pretty sure on multiple occasions I almost flashed the entirety of Macau in this. This is the last top, and it actually still has its tags on, so I haven't had a chance to wear this, but it is a gorgeous blouse. I would describe it like balloon sleeves. You've got some gold detailing. These are purely for aesthetic purposes. They don't work as buttons, and it is elasticated on the back, which means it doesn't have a zipper. So I did try this on when it first arrived, and it is a little bit of a tug of war game to get it over my head when I'm taking it off. Putting it on isn't a problem, taking it off is more of a problem. Let's move on to bottoms. I got 3 out of these 4 pants very close together. I think I got the 3 pairs within 2 weeks of each other because I found out that they have an elasticated waistband. And I'm gonna show you this as an example. So this is the first ever pair of pants I bought from AJE, and I wish I could find the video. When this first came, I remember sending a video to my best friend, and untailored, it was literally up to here. These pants were so long right off the bat, and I had a lot of the waist taken in. This was one of those pairs of pants which, after I bought it, I was like, you know what, it's not worth it. It's not worth spending that much money on a pair of pants to then spend an additional $150 to have the length taken up and the waist taken in. So I never bought pants from AJE again. That was until this year. So this pair of pants, I believe, came into my collection in 2021. So I went a good 3 or 4 years without purchasing a single bottom from AJE. Then this happened. I think this must have been it was during a sale. I can definitely say that it was during a sale. These are the exact same pair of pants, but in 2 different colors. And because it was quite heavily discounted, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna buy these, because then at least to some degree, I can justify spending the money on alterations. However, I have a habit of not reading descriptions apparently, because once these arrived, I found out that they had an elasticated waistband. So they're adjustable with no alterations. And so the only thing that I did have to do was chop the length, which is kind of expected. I'm 152 centimeters. Everything is too long on me. But these then very, very quickly became a staple in my wardrobe. I'm much more of a, I say this as I'm wearing a pair of jeans, I'm much more of a skirts and dresses. So I don't actually have a lot of tailored pants and nice pants that aren't jeans that I wear to work that I'd be fine with getting absolutely wrecked. After those 2, I decided that I needed a pair of white trousers. This took a little bit longer to find because I was very adamant that I was going to find one that came with the adjustable waist. And so it was a little bit of looking. I couldn't find that exact silhouette in white. So the only difference here is this gold detailing, which I haven't had an issue with so far because I haven't had any color transfer or anything, but I definitely am keeping an eye on it. But this is also another staple in my wardrobe. I will add as a side fact, for aesthetic purposes, I have not cut open any of these pockets. So a lot of brands, to make things look nicer on the hanger, they actually stitch pockets closed. And so same goes for these ones. I haven't actually cut open the stitching on the back because I don't need it. I've got side pockets on these, and I feel like for me that's sufficient enough. Let's do mini dresses. This is a recent addition. I've actually already had the chance to wear this out. This is gorgeous. I will say, belt in the middle. There is very little, if any, shape to this dress. Little bit of a V cut on the back. This is the back of the dress, and I will say, for anyone who's worried, you can't see a bra, well, at least my bras, you can't see when you've got the dress on. It does have padding on the shoulders, which I think is nice. It's not an excessive amount of padding, and I think, quite frankly, despite this being a very corset-y looking dress, this is the only structure to it. Another piece from AJE Athletica is this gorgeous, very I think it's tennis style, very tennis-y style dress. We've got gold buttons here, and we've got the brand on kind of like a metal plaque. I had this altered when I bought it, so it definitely is on the shorter side. I don't get as much wear out of this, I think, as I would like to, but it is, I don't know what I was thinking, it is quite literally up to like the bottom of my ass. So I don't know what my plan is for this dress, but I haven't let it go yet. I do bring it out occasionally on the off chance that I do go and play tennis, which I think it's a really, really cute fit, just not the right color. White is very Russian roulette-y. We have a little blue number. So this, again, similar to the black top, still has a tag on it, so I haven't had a chance to wear it, but I feel like this one's very straightforward. I don't know if it needs any excessive styling. I would maybe one day do a white like belt across here. I don't own a white belt. Maybe that's a reason to get one, but I mean, it's cute. It's blue, got a zipper. Like, it's simple, but nice. I don't know what I was thinking. I get a fair amount of wear out of this, but every time I put it on, Bubs likes to tell me that I look very cake toppery. I also think because I'm so, like, I'm a very petite build, this is very like disproportionate. Not so much the dress, just the sleeves. Like, I don't know what was going through my mind when I was like, yeah, I'm gonna look like my cheerleading poms, because that's a bit of a throwback. It's also got a cute, and I'm gonna call it classy because I think it's classy, but it's a cute little slit. Like, nothing's getting shown that shouldn't be shown, but it's kind of a nice little touch. Keeping it with the pink, this is a bit more of a baby pink, and I do love this dress. I've worn it quite a few times. The only thing that I don't like about this, and it's kind of a note that I've made for other mini dresses, is because a mini dress is never truly a mini on me because of height, this line here is in a really awkward place. That also might be Bub's camera angles. I'm not 100% sure, but it never looks great. So going back to this white dress, this one didn't have a problem with, looked really cute. On the photos were adorable. This, not so much. I feel like this is just in a weird place because it sits really weirdly on me. On the models, it sits really, really nice, but the dress is also cut off like at the knees or above the knees, which isn't the case for me. You can barely see my knees in this one. So I think for length purposes, I would not be looking at any more mini dresses that have this kind of like very harsh line running across it. And then there were 3. I'm gonna preface this by saying that the next 3, or the last 3 pieces, are sold as midi dresses. And for me, they are maxi length. I don't need to make any alterations to them, but these are dresses that I pretty much exclusively wear with heels, because if I didn't, one of 2 things is gonna happen. It's gonna drag on the floor and clean up half the city, or I'm gonna have to go in, take them into alterations and get the length brought up. This is a black number. I think I got this for possibly for my 24th birthday. It's what I wore to one of my dinners. And I do like this. Very cute, very nice. The material is very stretchy, very elasticated, no zipper. So it's a little bit of a slip in, slip out situation. I don't know, there's nothing bad to say about it. I do like this ruffling. I think it gives this area something to work with. This is very multicolored. I think the color is listed as abstract and I love it. This has the same type of sleeving as this pink one. It's very like pleated, but it's not really pleated. It's just like single pieces of fabric, and it's really nice. I have in the past done belts as well to kind of break it up a little bit, but I don't think that is 100% necessary. I will say the benefit of having something that is so abstract is you can match it with anything, because there's so many colors here. Just pick one and say that's the vibe that we're going for. The final piece, and not gonna lie, one of my absolute favorites is this dress. It is a gorgeous blue. It is a tie-up on the back. There is a zipper, but just note that this is zipped up. So this is where the zipper stops, and this is the top of the dress. So there is that little bit of space that is open. It's not so much a V type of open because you do tie it up, but there definitely still is some sort of opening. Puffy sleeves, but not structured, which I like because it's kind of like soft and a bit more flowy. There is definitely a lot of length to it and quite a few layers, but I think this is very soft, very feminine. So this particular dress I actually had in at dry cleaning when I filmed the first section, so it won't be in that part, but I wanted to show you guys anyway. So this is one of the full length dresses. Like I mentioned, it's sold as a midi, but it's a maxi on me. So it's got this gorgeous gold buckle detailing, and it's almost an entire wrap around my waist twice kind of dress. This is pretty much floor length. I have to wear heels with this particular dress, but it is absolutely gorgeous. I think I did that a little too tight, so I'm going to send it to return on itself there. But this one's very simple. So it's very, I think this is almost linen. It's got a V-neck, gold detailing. I also forgot to mention, but every single piece here is either in a XX small or a size 4. Some of their items are sold in number sizing, and some of them are sold in like the XX small, X small, small, medium, large, for example. But I'm pretty sure they convert the same, like a XX small is a 4. They just do it a little bit differently. Future and things that I regret. I don't think I really regret anything. Like I mentioned with this pink one, I'm probably going to stop getting dresses with that harsh line unless I've tried it on in store. This was an online purchase, and it ended up exceeding the return policy date, so I held on to it. But I think unless I've tried a mini dress on in store, I wouldn't go online and get anything with that really harsh line on it. As for everything else, I feel like I'm going to keep buying it. I feel like AJE is one of those brands that I absolutely love, absolutely adore. I will say their pieces are definitely on the pricier side. I think next to brands like Zimmermann, for example, definitely not. I think you get like, you could get anywhere between 2 to 3 dresses at AJE for the price of one dress at Zimmermann. But I definitely want more dresses. I feel like I want some more dresses that are more day-to-day wear, especially with where like my life is headed and what the future could possibly hold. I love this, but I'm not running after a kid in this. It is literally the size of me. Like, I need some nice dresses that I can wear to run errands, to go grocery shopping in, but I will keep buying AJE, which is also one of the reasons why I picked this as the first episode, because I feel like if I leave this any longer, my collection's gonna get a lot bigger. But let me know down in the comments if there is any particular items that you loved in my collection, anything you hated. Do you have recommendations? What should I add to my collection? But thank you for watching. Bye!